Paid, putting my lights on. Hope everyone's good, hope everyone's well. Welcome to episode 15 of Biggie Let's Talk on this funky Friday. Put my lights on. There you go. That's better. Hope everyone's well. Nice long weekend here in the UK. So it's bank holiday on Monday, which is a public holiday. But getting back to today, we got a great gentleman coming on live today, who is Be More Live. So I'm just gonna send him a little ping. He must be getting by the time I said it to him, actually. So what's everyone up to? Hope everyone's good, hope everyone's well. Let's get the house rules on the way first. So like the post, share the post. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh Sukhi Kho. So like the post, share the post, share the feed with your friends by pressing the airplane button, so we get more people on here. Just tag the topic. Mr. Live's in the house. 1 sec. Never works like this. So let this Instagram do its magic. And hopefully you should be on in a second. Okay. Mr. Live, I'm going to cancel your request and send it from my end, yeah? Because that normally works. Most of the time anyway. And in the meantime, if you press that arrow that's pointing that way, and then ping, ping, ping all your contacts as well, so everyone gets a notification. Here you go. Mr. Live in the house. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
Doing amazing.
Thank you for joining me.
Say that again?
I said thank you for joining me. It seems like ages ago we sorted this out, didn't we?
Yeah. I really appreciate I know you've been busy though. You've been having a lot of talk, so
Yeah.
I feel really thankful to be on here.
You're most welcome, man. No problem. Thank you for joining me on episode 15. So what I'm going to ask you to do, you see that aeroplane button that's pointing upwards in the corner? So on your right hand top, on your bottom right.
Yeah.
If you press that, all your contacts are going to be on there. Just whiz it to about 50 odd people while I'm talking.
The airplane. Oh, okay, I got
the
you.
Arrow that's going up.
Yeah.
Basically, press that, and then tap along your contacts who you want to invite, and then they'll get a notification to say you're live, even though it will say that you're live anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So how you been anyway?
I've been great.
Day off?
I've been really great.
Today or
no?
Or you been in the gym?
No. So I had some clients this morning, and now I'm here. Now
okay.
I'm here.
So let's get straight into it. Tell me about Be More Live.
So Be More Alive is my brand that basically came out of all the personal development work that I put into myself. And so a lot of that's been mindset coaching, developing healthy habits through fitness, through fasting, some holistic practices. And basically I put that all together to be able to help other people on their journeys, because we all have greatness inside of us. And sometimes we kind of forget, how to tap into it. So I've put in a lot of work to tap into my greatness, and I like to help other people kind of discover more of that for themselves. So,
and you're based at, is it SMT Long Beach?
Yeah, self-made training facility in Long Beach.
I want to give them a shout out as well, because you know what, they've been sharing my stories and everything as well. So a big shout out to your gym.
Yeah, self-made,
which is amazing. They must love you to bits.
Yeah, man. Self-made is all about like building community and collabing.
Fantastic.
And just bigging people up like yourself. So
thank you very much. So how did you start your story? What did you start as? Was it a good start, a bad start? Tell me a bit about the start of Be More Live. How did it come about?
So Be More Alive is me, really. And my journey basically started when I was younger. I went through a lot of like rough things when I was younger. Dealt with just like everybody, dealt with alcoholism, drug abuse, anxiety, depression, all stemming from things, like I said, when I went through as a child, and developed some really bad habits. And is that
like the people you used to hang around with, your friends, your culture, or like your people you with, they were naughty?
Definitely, I had a group of friends when I was younger that wasn't the healthiest environment for me to be in. We all started drinking and partying very young.
Okay.
And we didn't drink and party to have a good time. We drank and party to like blackout. So
Oh, one of those, yeah.
yeah, I started that at the age of like 15. So you can imagine starting that young and not being able to get out of that habit. And for me, I used it as a mask to kind of mask all of my insecurities and all the stuff that I was dealing with. And so I dealt with that for about a solid 10, 12 years. And then it turned into mixing hard drugs and things like that. So
Really?
I got like deep
Wow.
into addiction. Yeah. Um, and so I just wasn't living a healthy lifestyle. I was lying, cheating, stealing, multiple DUIs. I've totaled about 7 or 8 cars. Um, it's been a trip, man. When I look back at my journey, like I'm really surprised I'm still alive, and
Fantastic.
I'm really
Amazing.
surprised
Blessed.
that I'm free and not locked up. Um, so yeah, I worked corporate for a little bit. I did the 9 to 5. I started. Well, once I dropped that, so I went to school because I was an athlete, and so luckily for me, the athlete lifestyle kind of helped me balance all the hard stuff that I was going through. But
Okay.
once I lost my athlete life due to injury, it just got really bad. So started working a bunch of dead end jobs. Wasn't happy, and then I got into corporate. And I remember one day I kind of, when you're in like an office building, they have like the rolly chairs that you can kind of push yourself out from.
Yeah.
So I did that at my desk, and I just did like a 360 turn around the whole office, and I just looked at all the 50-year-olds and 60-year-olds, and everyone looked miserable. They all looked like they were ready to blow their brains out. Their 15-minute break, they're going to go smoke cigarettes and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, like I do not want that to be me. And at the
But you know
time, I
what?
was like,
Were you fit and toned then as well? Because obviously you're
no,
really toned now. Or were
uh,
you like a big guy?
no, yeah. At that time, I was a big guy, but I was an unhealthy big guy.
Oh, okay.
I was about 260 pounds at that time, but I was really out of shape. So once I did that 360 look around the office and decided I didn't want to do that anymore, I quit my job. I saved up some money, so I backpacked through Europe for a little bit with a friend, still dealing with all the alcohol and drugs and stuff like that. And then, long story short, I ended up getting myself clean when I got back from
Yeah.
Europe, and I moved out to California. And once I got sober, that's kind of when everything started kicking in for me. I started getting back into working
Okay,
out.
so moving back, where were you actually born and bred?
Hartford, Connecticut. I'm from Connecticut, which is next to New York City.
Okay, so that's the east side, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the East
Where Cali's on the
Coast.
west, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
so what was your upbringing like?
What
Were
was
you
what?
know, what was your upbringing like? Were you naughty then as well? In the same crowd?
Yeah, my upbringing. Connecticut's very cold during the winter,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
there's not a lot to do. It's a very small state. So everyone's just kind of partying and drinking a lot at a very young age. There's not much going on.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so my upbringing, I grew up in the suburbs, but I had family and friends that were in the hood. So I spent time in the suburbs. I spent time in the hood. I've always had this energy where I attract a lot of different types of life to me. Um, so yeah, I've experienced a lot of things, a lot of different cultures, a lot of different people. So my upbringing was very diverse. But like I said, for me it was rough.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, just dealing with a lot of different
Okay, so
challenges.
you moved over to the west side,
Mhm.
California,
Yeah.
and then you had an office job, like you said. Then from the office job, it was your wake up call.
Uh, uh, my real wake up call was I had moved back in with so it was around the office job time. It was once I got back from Europe after I quit that office job.
Yeah.
And I had moved back in with my mom. I had just got back in from like partying. It was 3 in the morning, and I knew I was gonna be in California, but I didn't know how I was gonna get out here. So at the time, I was like, dang, the only way for me to get to California is I'm probably gonna have to go to rehab.
Really?
So I was looking at I was looking at different rehabs on my phone in California, and that was it. That was like the huge epiphany. I was like, out of all the times I tried to get sober and stuff like that, the fact that I was finally looking at rehabs was like the big change, wake up call for me.
That
So
was the big B more wake up call.
that was the big,
Did you hit rock bottom at the time?
oh yeah, man. I was suicidal. I just didn't care. I didn't care about anything at that point, you know?
Okay, you talk a lot about love, health, and wealth.
Mhm.
Tell me a bit more about that.
So I think the 3 pillars of life are love, health, and wealth. When you
Right.
meet somebody for the first time, like say you're out and about, the first thing you usually talk about is love, health, and wealth. You talk about there's a person in a relationship, do they have kids? That's their love, right? That's their
Yeah.
family. You talk about, oh, what do you do to take care of yourself? Do you work out? You know, you talk about people's health.
That's
And then people talk, oh,
it.
what do you do for work? You know, you talk about wealth, right? So I ask you all the time, or like I'll ask you, don't you want good love in your
Of
life?
course, all the time.
Whether it's intimate or connections,
Yeah.
right?
You're right. 100%.
Don't you want good health in your life?
100%.
Don't you want good wealth in your life?
Oh, definitely.
Those are the three pillars, man.
Fair play.
So
Makes sense.
so I feel like if I can be as well educated, versed, and have really good love, health, and wealth in my life, then I can help other people. Um, so I think that those are the three most important things that we can obtain while we're here: is great love, great health, great wealth.
Fair
And so
play.
great love comes from, doing your deep work to be able to show up as a great friend, great son, great person, taking care of your health so you can be healthy. And then once those three are in order, it starts to be pretty easy for you to make some good wealth in your life, you know?
Perfect. So, with these things and with you hitting rock bottom, have you ever wanted to give up on your personal development?
Have I ever wanted to give up, like currently or in the
No, in
past?
the past, not now. Now you're a soldier.
Have I ever wanted to give up on my well, I mean, there was a time yeah, I mean, there wasn't a time I didn't even care about my personal development. So, um, in the past, yeah, for sure, for sure.
And then
I mean,
how did you overcome that? Like by hitting the gym.
so it started with I got tired of the way people were looking at me. All because, like I said, I used to be a well, I
Yeah.
guess well now I am, but in my past when I was in high school, I was a star athlete. So everyone used to look at me like, greatness. And then once I became the alcoholic and drug addict, people didn't want me around. And so I got really tired of the way people would look at me, the way people talk to me. And so I decided, I'm gonna figure this out. So it was a time when I got sober, and what I would do is, because obviously, being caught up in drugs and alcohol as long as I was, it had a really strong hold on me.
Yeah.
So I was like, instead of me giving into my urges of drinking and alcohol, or sorry, drinking, smoking, whatever I was doing, I'm gonna start going on a walk. So every time I
Fair
got
enough.
the urge to do something, I would just go walk for about 45 minutes around my neighborhood. And then because I was 270, so I was a big boy, so like running and stuff like that really wasn't there at
Yeah.
that time. But soon the walk started turning into working out again, and then the walk started turning into runs. And that was kind of what helped me get back into a routine of hitting the gym.
Brilliant.
So the gym was down, the physical aspect was down, but then I made it a habit of, all right, if I'm not working out for a day, then I have to be either reading something or working on myself spiritually. So that would look like if I'm not working out, then I'm reading that day and studying. If I'm not working out or reading that day, then I'm meditating or going on a hike or something like that.
So
So all these
to keep your
habits,
mind ticking.
yeah, 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 keep my mind present, keeping my
Yeah.
mind present in the moment. And so as I started building those healthy habits, more modalities started coming to me. I started getting into like fasting. So I fast pretty often. And then I started getting into just different holistic practices that have, really helped shape my life.
So what qualifications do you have at the moment in coaching? It's obviously it's different from down here, but what is it up there you have?
So I'm a NASM certified personal trainer, and NASM is as if you're going to be a personal trainer, that's number one because that's globally accredited, globally recognized. And then next month I'll be starting a holistic life coach um,
Wow.
course through this guy named Paul Chek. He's got a Chek Institute out in San Diego. He's very amazing. He started off in the bodybuilding world,
Okay.
and then he had like a spiritual awakening and started going very holistic, and just a lot of his practices and visions are really aligned with, and so I'm going to be getting certified through him.
And the list it's more on the healing side, isn't it?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah. It's
Excellent.
more about getting back to just natural. I feel like a more natural way of life. I feel like when I look around, and especially when I talk to my grandfather, I mean, when I talked to my grandfather, he didn't know anybody who was autistic
Yeah.
growing up. Um, Maybe one person you knew in the whole town had cancer. Nobody had diabetes when he was
Nobody. That's it. Now it's like, you know, a good few people in the town.
exactly. And so I look around, like I lost my dad. My dad passed away of cancer when I was 17. His mother, my grandmother, passed away a year later of cancer. My mom's side of the family are all like, I'm the only sober male on my mom's side. And then my mom's a diabetic, uncle, aunt's diabetic, everyone's got high blood pressure, all this stuff. And so I look around, what changed, what happened?
Yeah,
People's diet, the things that they're consuming, the things that they're watching, the environments that they're around. And I feel like once you get back to a more natural way of life, like you see in most places outside of America,
yeah.
people, I mean, where are you?
I'm in the UK, London,
Right. So
just outside London.
I've been to the UK, right? When I was in the UK, and this is when when I was backpacking to Europe, so I was still partying at the time.
Yeah,
You wake up, everyone's they're going to like a bar at like 8 in the
yeah.
morning, go hang out with their friends, smoking cigarettes and drinking. But you look at them, they could go run a marathon 2 hours later, right? So it's really, to me, it's the diet and the culture here where I'm at, and some other
Definitely.
countries, you know. So it's just kind of getting out of all that and getting back to a more natural way of life.
Okay, hold on. Lost my question. Okay, so you're a master super coach. I'm going to put it that way. So, what's something about fitness people overcomplicate?
Um, workouts.
Really?
Workouts, and just keep it simple, right? Get in the gym, get 10, 20 minutes of cardio in, lift some weights, and build a routine. Because most people are like just scared to go to the gym, and half the battle is just getting to the gym. So once you kind of get some momentum going, right? It's like anything. It's like riding a bike. You don't know
Yeah,
how to ride a
true.
bike the first time you get on the bike, but you start to figure out a rhythm, right? So being able just to show up, get in the gym, and we have technology now. How many people you just go on YouTube a workout, and that's all you got to do. And it's just really just building a habit and momentum of just getting
Excellent.
in there. And then I think a lot of things too is like everyone on Instagram's trying to like blow up and be superstars. So they come up with all these crazy workouts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple. Keep it to the basics. Especially if you're newer
So,
to the gym.
so if you had a new client today and you were meeting them in the gym for the first time, would you write out their plan? What type of plan would you write out?
I
Machines,
would.
weights, or mix it up?
Well, obviously, so for me as a coach, I would do an assessment first. I would bring them through an assessment, kind of see what body parts maybe have some muscle imbalances or what they need to work on. But for the most part, since you're just like it's a general question you're asking, we'd start with some squats, right? See how their posture is with squats, because a squat is a foundational movement. Squats gonna help you get off the toilet when you're older,
That's
right?
right. Yeah.
Squats gonna help you pick your kid up, right, when you're as you age, right? So squats, some push-ups, shoulder presses, just some really basic movements that they could see that I'm bringing them through in an assessment, and then that they could do when they're in the gym, you know.
So basically,
Um,
core exercises. You're hitting all the big muscles, like the core exercises. Not
yeah,
your abs or your core, but okay, with you.
yeah, compound
Yeah,
movements that
compound. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for. Compound exercises.
yeah,
So your squats, your bench press, your biceps, your shoulders, your back.
yeah, some back, just to get the body moving. For my clients that are newer to working out, I don't want to have them go too hard,
Yeah.
because you don't want to. For me, I tell people my goal is to train you for 3 to 6 months, and then after that, you kind of go out on your own. You're comfortable. I'm still here as a resource if you need me. But the job of as a personal trainer is to get people to a point where they can go and be confident in the gym by themselves.
Okay.
Luckily for me, I am a great coach, so my clients stay with me for I have clients that are 2 years plus with me.
Really?
But that's more of the mindset changes that I've helped people, or I've helped guide people back to for themselves, and just been able to build really strong relationships with the people that I work with.
And when you're not working with a client, are you still in the gym,
Oh yeah,
or are you?
I gotta
You
be.
are.
I just made a video about this. I just made a video about being selfish with your time. Um, I will I will rearrange my schedule if I need to make sure I get my workout in. That means if there's a certain block where I usually have a client and for some reason whether I'm traveling or speaking or whatever, and I need to get a workout in, I will reschedule that client so that I get my workout in. Because how can I be sitting here telling people, hey, you got to make lifestyle changes. You got to make these changes. You got to be selfish with your time to be able to take care of your health if I'm not doing it,
If
you
you if
know?
you don't look the part, 100%.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I work out. I work out at least 5 to 6 times a week, and I love taking care of my body.
Okay.
So
How do you balance your workout with your mental health and your fitness as well? Obviously, you just kind of like touched on it just now.
yeah, I mean that working out for me is my therapy. So, but I did just have. I will say, sometimes you got to find balance because I was training for an event and I was definitely overtraining and
Okay.
ended up having a slight injury in my foot that's healing right now. And so with that, also being able to have the understanding of like, okay, it's okay to kind of not go so hard, but enough where I'm able to take care of my body and keep my body healthy. For me, a question that I get a lot is if I were going to have somebody start changing their life, what's the first thing I would have them change? And my go-to is always working out because a lot of the times people don't want to work out, right? No one wants to work out when they first start. I've been working out my whole life. I barely want to work out some
You
days
don't like it,
as
yeah?
it is now, But working out is the catalyst. It's the number one thing that's going to help build mindset changes and healthy habits because you're making your body feel better. You're getting those the natural dopamine, those natural endorphins. And if you can
Yeah.
show up for a workout, which is challenging, then you can show up for anything else in your life that's challenging.
Okay, what's one underrated fitness habit that changed your life?
One underrated yoga and stretching. Yeah.
Really? I know stretching is important.
Stretching is really important. Yoga completely changed my life because as I started getting stronger strength, my yoga practice became stronger. As I started staying more present and being able to control my breath from yoga, it helped my workouts become stronger. And I would have the mind body connection like even deeper with my workouts and being able to control my breath. And also the mobility aspect of yoga and how good yoga has made my body feel and allowed me to be present in my everyday life. So having also another way to kind of put that in perspective for people is having a consistent mobility routine. Getting into just a routine of just moving your body in some kind of fashion.
Definitely. Okay, what's the first thing you did to make the Be More brand?
What's the first thing that I did
Yeah,
in terms of like my market, like what do you mean, my branding or?
that's correct. Yeah, your branding wise.
Well,
Or was it
luckily for me,
already?
sorry, go ahead.
God, sorry. Yeah, that was it.
Oh, luckily for me, one of my clients, her wife actually is a brand. She's I don't know what you call them, but she
Marketing.
makes people's brand. She helps people with branding and marketing. She works for a company, but she does it independent, also on the side, and she's amazing. She's really amazing. So I talked to her. I gave her the vision for my logo. I had a logo before, wasn't as strong as this one, and fits more with where I'm at now in my journey and in my life and what I want my business to represent. And so she just interviewed me, came up with I gave her the idea of the logo, everything that I
Brilliant.
saw with the logo. She put it on paper, made it happen, and it's been about, I want to say a year, probably about a year now since I've officially branded myself and marketed myself. So
Brilliant. So have you found out people that were in the same boat as you that will come to you? So if you say to somebody, "Oh, I used to be on the streets. I used to be a hustler. I used to be big. I used to do this. I used to do that." Have you
yeah.
trained many people like that that were in the same boat as you?
Yeah. Maybe not as deep. I mean, I was deep in it. So maybe not to the extreme that I was in, but similar journeys. Yeah. People that maybe want lifestyle changes, overweight, have been battling with the depression and
Yeah.
alcohol and drugs and unhealthy eating habits. Um, I attract a lot of that because when I share my story, I think it connects with people
Yeah,
and it
it's
brings
true.
that type of crowd into me. So yeah. Definitely.
Okay, what makes your approach different from other PTs? personal trainers?
What makes my approach different is it's just my energy. I feel like people can just really resonate with me because it's not fluff. Like I never try to fluff myself up or fluff anything.
Yeah.
And I take a very practical approach. Like I'm not going to be having you do all this like woo woo stuff for like influencer, like trying to be an influencer stuff. It's like, hey, we're going to come down. We're going to get to the basics. And I think I have a really good approach of helping people with their mindset and changing their mindset. And
That's
I
an
think
important
that's
thing,
why
isn't it?
people really enjoy working with me. Say that again.
That's a really important thing. Mind over matter, getting the mindset right,
Oh
especially
yeah,
when it comes to working
100%.
out.
Because if your mind's not right, I mean, the working out's cool, but that's only gonna last so long, you
That's
know?
true. It's like when you first go to the gym, you're so eager to jump on a machine or try something new, but then as soon as the novelty wears off,
Right.
it's back to
And
normal.
and that's why discipline is way stronger than motivation. Because you can be motivated, but once that motivation leaves, then what? You know, so you
Have you
got to
ever
build
had? It's true. Have you ever had no backlash or anything like that, or any criticism?
all the time, man. All the
Really?
time. When you shine a really bright light, it casts a bigger shadow for other people.
100%.
So yeah, I mean, right before we hopped on this call, man, I just had to deal with a conversation with somebody, you know. But the thing is, for that, is I used to shy away from the conflict and I want to deal with it. But you know, if you keep running from it, it's just gonna get bigger and bigger. So you got to
100%.
kind of just face it, and also being able to take accountability for when I do mess up, and if I am, you know, moving out of alignment, can I take accountability for that? You know, and I think
Yeah.
that's a very, I think a lot of people sometimes can't take accountability or haven't done the work to gain self awareness to really see themselves from other people's perspective. You know,
Excellent. Okay, what's one thing behind the scenes that people don't see Be More Live doing?
one thing that people don't see me doing behind the scenes is the self. I think a lot of the self work that I do, the meditation, the shadow work, the journaling. Um, People don't see sometimes. You know, I'm human. I don't have it all figured out, but like you know, the times where it does get a little heavy, like uh, not saying I choose like you know a lot of people like that lone wolf. Like I have an open heart now, so like, I'm really open to building community and things like that. But sometimes on this journey, it is a lot of solo time, and the universe just kind of makes things like that. So a lot of the times people don't see the going through the ruck by
Yeah.
myself and the time spent putting the work in by myself. But
Because
I know that it's for
you got all these clients, so you're like doing behind the scenes work for them as well, as you're like making their schedules, updating them,
oh
keeping
yeah
in contact with them, and liaising with them.
yeah. So yeah, I love that stuff. I set my Sundays out for client programming, my check-in calls, wellness calls. I do nutrition programming too, so just checking in on my clients, seeing how their mindset is, seeing how they're feeling, and that's a big thing too because you know people be going through it. So helping manage people's emotions and you know keeping their mind right to continue to
Really.
like trust the process.
Okay, what's one big misunderstanding people have about you? So if somebody sees you in the gym for the first time, what's one big misunderstanding people might think?
Well, one this is kind of a funny one, I guess, because of the way the question's being asked. But I'm plant based. I'm vegan,
Okay.
so like I lift heavy weight still. So when I say I'm vegan, people are really like shocked. They're like, "What?"
Yeah.
You know. And I think again, that's kind of going back to like the basics of life. Like,
And have you
obviously,
always
like
when did you become vegan?
I've been vegan for 6 years. I became vegan. I moved to California. I went to Brazil with a mentor at the time. He took me to a vegan restaurant. I've been vegan since that meal in Brazil. It's like
Really?
6 months ago, 6 years ago. Yeah.
What's it like when you go out? Is it okay when you go out, or do you just do your own thing and munch your own thing?
Uh, I usually, if I'm going somewhere where I know there's not gonna be a lot of options for me, I'll usually eat before, so I don't have to worry about it. And then I don't like being the guy where if I go to someone's house, oh, what's in this? What's in this? Blah, blah, blah. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just kind of
true,
eat
yeah.
before I go places. But I mean, it's easy. Like if I go out somewhere, they're gonna have some rice and beans and some vegetables. So usually
Yeah,
just get
that's
some
true, yeah.
sides and I'm good.
Okay, if you could speak to a younger, be more live now, 5 years, what would you say to yourself?
I would say stop stop messing around because you're delaying the process. But honestly, I would say I love you because I don't think I ever had anyone really tell me that they really love me genuinely.
Wow.
I tell myself that I love myself, and that all this stuff that I'm going through, even though it seems like like it's for no reason, is strengthening me and making me into somebody that is going to help a lot of people through the things that they're going through. And it's going to make me more relatable to a lot of people. And that's why I'm going through all these things. And
Fantastic.
just, okay, keep going.
Okay, how do you find your clients? Is it normally they approach you, or do they see you in the gym, or?
A lot of it's Instagram. A lot of it's hustling with my business cards when I'm going out. I live in a really great spot, right by the beach, and a lot of people are active, like working out there. So I'll go out with my business cards, go connect with people when I'm at events. But Instagram's really great when I'm posting content and sharing my workout content, and then just referrals from clients and really targeting specific groups of people that I like working with.
Have you ever trained a celebrity or anyone famous?
Um, I've trained some influencers, some Instagram influencers, and I
Okay.
have a few clients who are actors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No one like super super famous
Yeah,
yet,
yeah, yeah.
but
But you're in Long Beach, so there's loads there, isn't there?
yeah, I
Within
mean
the
I'm
in the
around
area.
I'm around famous people, but I don't really trip out about that because
Nah, I know what
most
you
of them
mean.
don't even know how to be good
It's true,
genuine people in the first place. So I'd rather train people that can. I like training. I like being real. So I like to train people that are real.
100%. And so, how much time do you know? What's your normal days? What's your normal day? So, what time you'd wake up, and then would you go to the gym, or does it all depend on your timetable of appointments?
Yeah. So I'm usually up at 5. First clients are at 6. I'll train from about 6 to some days 6 to 9 a.m. Other days 6 to 10 a.m. And then I'll get my workout in, breakfast. I have my schedule set up, so usually take a nap in the afternoon. Do my social media engagement, content. I'll put my content together. I'll do my reach outs to potential clients, and then back in the gym from like 4 to about 7, and then I wind down. Probably go to bed around like 10, and then kind of repeat the cycle until Monday
Back up.
or until the
Yeah.
weekend.
So,
Yeah.
does it change on the weekend? So, do you ever have time to party or anything? To your,
Uh,
any time for yourself?
I just got done coaching my youth team for lacrosse. We went undefeated, won the championship, by the
Brilliant.
way. So that was cool. Now that that's over, I don't party. But like I'll go out to events. I go hang out with friends. I hike a lot, so that's my partying is I
Fair
love
enough.
being in nature. Yeah,
Okay. What's something you're afraid to admit out loud, but you share here with me today?
something that I'm afraid to admit out loud that I'd share with you today.
Well, you kind of touched on one earlier on, but okay.
What well, I touched on one earlier. Uh,
Yeah, you touched on one earlier on, but okay, give me another one
I can't really think of anything. I don't know. What did I touch on earlier?
about the clients in the gym, and there's something about that, and then something about what you say to them. It slipped my mind as well now.
Uh, Something that I'm scared to admit. I don't really have anything.
Ah, fair enough. The perfect man, the perfect coach.
Nah. A lot of room for growth and improvement.
So how many coaches how many personal trainers are there at your gym?
A lot. There's like at least I want to say like 45, but
No
like,
way,
yeah, you
really.
can't. But the thing is, you can't really tell during the day because the gym's so spread out, and then certain trainers are in at certain times. So we do a really good job of handling space and all that good stuff.
So are you quite a spiritual person?
Yeah, yeah.
Or is that something that's like come into your life later? Was it from when you were younger or?
The reason I kind of say yeah like that is just because I try to stay away from the labels. You know,
Yeah.
I have a really deep connection with myself and so like source what some people deem as God. Like I don't know. There's no word or term for that
Yeah.
for me. I guess other than like love, the love that connects all of us together. That is to me what I strive to grow a deeper connection with and a deeper understanding of.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I guess you could say it for the term for the sake of this interview. I'm spiritual. It started for me at a very young age.
No,
So
the reason I said that was because you said that you do a lot of meditation, or was that your breathing? Is that yoga and
like
breathing?
breath work.
Not that
Yeah,
yoga's got anything to do with any religious or spirituality, but I just thought because you said you do meditation or breathing exercises and yoga, so I thought maybe that's a religious kind of thing.
yeah. What other people would deem spiritual is what I am.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And where are you originally from? Or are you
uh,
like Black African, American?
I'm indigenous. I'm American indigenous. I'm not African American. I'm not from Africa.
And where's your
Um,
parents from?
my parents are from. So my great grandparents are Native American,
Okay.
Native Indian. Yeah, and then my dad, if you see him, he was very dark. He's very dark. So, but you see my mom, she's light, so she looks Native Indian.
Fair
So
enough.
I just say I'm American. I'm an indigenous American,
Why
Native
not?
American. Yeah,
Fair enough. Okay,
because a lot of
I just
us,
thought maybe
a
you're from
lot.
like the West Indies side or something like that, Caribbean or
Nah,
Caribbean side.
a lot of us were already here. Where'd all the slave ships go?
Yeah,
How they
true, 100%.
all of us? Where'd all the slave ships go? They brought all of us over here. Nah, we were
That's
already
right,
here. We were already
100%.
here. Yeah.
So, well, what's the future plans? Do you want to
Future
make
plans.
your own gym or anything like that?
At some point, I would like to open my own gym, and traveling around the world, just speaking about health. I work with a medical grade water called Kangen water. So teaching people about the water, teaching people about meditation, teaching people about healthy eating, teaching people about just like really connecting more with themselves.
What's the water thing? Tell me a bit more about the water thing. Is that like drinking water or?
Yeah, it's called Kangen water. So it's basically a medical grade water ionizer. It takes all the chemicals out of the
All
tap
the
water.
toxins,
Say that again.
all the bad toxins in your body.
Yeah, like the
Okay.
fluoride and chlorine, and then the machine adds an electric, like basically a charge to the water. It charges the water, and in return, when you drink it, it charges your cells and it detoxes your body.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so it's a Japanese medical water ionizer. They use it in all the hospitals in Japan, and it's just really healthy for your body. Really detoxes you, and so I teach people about that and just teach people about health like that. I really see myself just traveling and talking about just health and the water.
Okay, and where can people find out more? I know your social media hook handles, but just tell us about your social media handles.
Oh
'Cause
yeah, they can reach me on my Instagram at Be More Alive, BMOR Alive. You can check out my website, BeMoreLife.com. Those I'm on Facebook, Benjamin Moore. You could Long Beach, California, but I think probably Instagram would probably be like the number one way to reach out
Is
to
that the
me.
best way? This is where you plug most of your material. Isn't it? You're on your TikTok as well, ain't you?
That's so funny. I just re-downloaded TikTok today. So I was talking to one of
Okay.
my friends about something, but I've been off TikTok for probably about like a month or two. But I'm planning on getting more active on TikTok. And my TikTok
TikTok's
is,
the place to be. It's good
yeah,
because you can put loads of shorts on there. I know you're on YouTube as well, but TikTok's really good, especially for putting up shorts and putting up like videos about information because people see it
yeah.
quick. But Ben,
So
I want to thank you, Mr. Be More Live. Thank
yeah,
you very much, and let me know if you know somebody else that wants to come on. I can talk to them as well for a nomination, and I'll catch up with you soon, my friend. Thank you very much,
sure.
sir.
Thank you so much,
All the best.
Biggie. Appreciate your time.
Big love. Thank you.